Hi there, I'm back. My name is Dave Tromp, and I haven't been posting videos for quite some time, but I've just recorded a review of my past trading week and a look forward to my coming week. But I want to give some context to this video. So I haven't been making videos for quite some time, and I've been thinking about what I want this channel to be all about, because I have many interests. I'm a coder by day, so my day job is software development, and besides that I trade and invest in the financial markets, and I also do a lot of Budo, so Judo, Aikido and Karate. So the main focus of this channel, this personal channel of mine, will be how I trade the financial markets. That's what I've decided. So if you've been around this channel to see videos about Python programming or something like that, then you won't be seeing too many videos about this, because well, I only want it to be about about trading and investing. Then again, I also use Python programming for trading and investing, so you might see some videos about that, but the main focus again is trading and investing. I haven't been making videos about trading and investing for some time because I had quite a large drawdown in 2021, so I needed to regroup and rethink my trading. Then again, maybe if I would have been keeping up with my trading and continued trading, I would have been up again. Anyway, we will never know this. It's a psychological game in that sense. But I've started again, and I will be making these review and looking forward videos every weekend. At least I try to do it if I have the time. So if this is of interest, then please subscribe and follow me here. And you can also follow me at Patreon to see the trades that I take. So not looking back, but as I take them, I post them on Patreon. So that's patreon.com/DaveTromp. Just about my trading generally, I tend to have a win rate of about 45%. So that out of 100 trades, that means I will be winning only 45 of them. But then again, my risk to reward is about 1.5. So when I win more than when I lose. So this means on 100 trades, I will be making 12.5 R. So that's not, if you have a very large account, that's a good return, I think. And also if you consistently make a lot of trades. So what I'm working on now is seeing if I can get a higher win rate and still keep my risk to reward about 1.4, maybe 1.3. And also I will be continuously adding money to my trading account. So money that I have left over at the end of the month, I will be putting it into the trading account, so I can grow my trading account not just by compounding the returns, but also by just putting in principal. That way it will be more lucrative to be trading my trading account with only this small return, which I don't think it's too small. But if you just have well, let's say you have a €1,000 account and you make 12.5% per year, so that's 225 euro in a year. So if you're trading like me, looking at the markets every day, then that's not a good return for your time. So it is a good return percentage wise on your money, but you need more money to make it worth your time. So that's why I'm putting in more money into my trading account, because I know I can be profitable. I've shown this to myself, and I've done a lot of backtesting that shows this. So I'm just upping my game in that sense. So I hope you join me. Have a look at the review and the forward look coming up in the section next, and see you after. Well, see you next week then. Okay, have fun and enjoy the video. So here's a review of the past week of trading for me, and also a look ahead at the coming week. I do these reviews for myself every weekend, so I'll take a look at how my trades have been doing. I record everything, and I look ahead at the next week to see where the levels are where I want to be trading at. So let's have a look. First off, we take a look at the dollar index. The dollar has been going up very strongly because of all the things going on with the inflation and the war in the Ukraine, etc. People perceive the dollar as being a safe haven. So that's why the dollar is going up. Also, the Federal Reserve has been hinting on spiking, or not spiking, but hiking the interest rates, and other currencies are lagging, and some are catching up, like the Swiss franc. So we'll have a look at that as well later on when we go through the list. So it's always good to know what the dollar is doing against all the other currencies. So it's a relative strength of the dollar. In general, all currencies are going down, in my belief. They're going to zero. That's just the way it is. But in the meantime, we can speculate on the currency strength against each other. So that's the dollar strength. That's still the predominant story. So we'll keep that in mind. So if the dollar is strong, then the euro dollar is going down, and we can clearly see this. This is a very clear downtrend, and we had a couple of very good trades here that are exemplary almost. So we have here the support of this swing leg has been broken here, and then it becomes resistance, and we do not quite go there, but there's this top here, and then we could trade it from this other top. So this is a trade I had, and then the same story here. We have a break, a retest of the support that became resistance, and then another short trade. So as you can see, I'm only trading with trend. I've seen that counter trend trading, I'm not too good at this yet, so I have to perfect it a little bit more, maybe have some other kinds of stops and targets. So for now, I'm only trading, or I try to only trade with trend. Sometimes I'm tempted to trade counter trend. So you will see a couple of counter trend trades, I believe, that we will see. But my main focus from now on, for the time being, will be with trend trades, especially as we are having these very strong trades, strong trends. Oh, wait a second. Looking ahead, we have this support zone here, and I'll be looking for either a break of this support, then it can become resistance, so I can take a short trade. So if I would have to draw this out, it would be if we have a break down here, then this kind of trade is what I would be looking at. Or if we are about to go sideways between these levels, then I might be taking a trade from this level. Let's just extend this a little bit. So we could also see if price rallies up, then we could maybe see a signal or a pattern that I will be looking for that will indicate that price is about to head lower again. So this could be a trade, or we could trade a break down here and then a continuation to the downside. So I'm not gonna be trading this upswing. If there's an upswing, I'm not trading that for the moment. So looking at the Great British Pound, I did have a trade here, so let me look that up for you. You can find this trade also on my Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com/DaveTrump, you can follow my trades there. I do have these trades become public after a few days, so if you want to see them the moment I place them, you will have to become a patron. The good thing is you can support me and my channel, so please do if this is something of interest of you. I took this trade here. Let me open it up, go a little bit bigger. So we had this swing, and then we had a resistance level here, and I took it from this candle here. So let's redraw that on the chart. So I took the trade from this level with quite a large stop and a 1 to 2 risk to reward, and it was a good thing I had a long enough or a wide enough stop, so I wouldn't be stopped out. I believe the stop was more or less around here, and then I targeted the lower level. So let me see that trade again. It was a 1.19, so I had a little bit higher my stop. Yeah, 1.19. It looks quite different here. Too bad I took it off. Let me see what level. That's the 1.27. So about here, somewhere around here. Anyway, something like this. That was the trade for a 1 point. Let me just quickly check if it was really a 1 point. Let's go to my trading log. I'm not going to show you my trading log, but I can look up what I made on this trade. There we go, 1.19. Yeah, so anyway, I will try to leave my markings on. Sometimes I remove them because I want to have a clean chart, but I will try to leave them on so you can so I can show them on you guys in a video like this. Anyway, if you want to see this trade as I am planning it, you can follow me on my Patreon, and then you will get notification whenever I do this kind of trades. So let's move on to the USD CAD. So the USD CAD is in this channel, grinding higher. So I will be looking for a bounce of the upper level of the channel. So something like this. If we go here, and then I'll be looking for something like this, a move like this. Or if we break out of the channel, that could also happen. If we break out, then I will be looking for a retest to the upside. So this is actually a counter trend trade that I would be considering, as the trend is not too strong. It is up, yes, but it's not a very strong uptrend, and we've seen this pattern going on for quite some time. So I'll be pretty confident taking a short here. So moving on to the USD Japanese yen. I don't know what's I do know what's happening here with the Japanese yen. It's just losing ground and ground. They the Bank of Japan just is not able anymore to keep the currency in a stable at a stable level. Yeah, so that's really bad situation for Japan. But just looking at it from a trading perspective, we can see this is a very strong uptrend. I planned out here this short trade because we hit this very long time level. Let me just zoom out. Oh, we even have to go to the weekly. Let's go to the weekly. So you can see we had this bounce here. So we hit up to that level now. Let me remove these marks. And so I saw this happening and I did not take the trade, but I wanted to see if I could plan it out correctly. So I planned it out on the 4 hourly. We had some divergence here. So we made this high, we made another high up into this level. And if you open the RSI, so let me just quickly do that. Oh, why is that not working? Okay, let's do it from here. Indicators, RSI. So the relative strength indicator. So if we plot that, then we can see here we made a high on the RSI and then another a higher high on the prices, but a lower high on the RSI. So that's what we call bearish divergence, and that typically indicates that there will be a move lower. So here we made a higher high and here we made a lower high. So, and we also had this bearish engulfing pattern. So when I saw this, I thought, okay, I would plan it out like this. Put my entry here, target at this support level, and stop above the high here with some buffer. And this buffer was enough to prevent me from being taken out here, and then afterwards it would have dropped. But then again, I'm not in this trade, but I do want to see if I could properly plan this, and I'm keeping track of these trades that I'm not taking. So this is basically paper trading, what I'm doing. So these are counter trend trades that I'm just paper trading to see if I can make it work. Moving on to the Swiss franc against the US dollar. So let's switch back to the daily. So this is what I mean by banks, central banks catching up with the Federal Reserve. So we had this strong upward move, and then here we had, I'm not quite sure why we had this down move here. Anyway, we formed a bottom here, so I marked that on my chart. But then again, as the Fed was hiking their rates and said we're not going to do 50 basis point but 75 basis point, then the dollar went up again strongly against the Swiss franc, and then the Swiss National Bank stepped in and they said we're also going to hike rates, and then you saw the US dollar against the Swiss franc take a dive again. So they basically slammed down the rate by hiking the rates. So now we are back at this support level, and from here I would consider taking a long if we have some sort of indication that there's bullish momentum. So this can be that pin bar or a engulfing bar, or maybe a double bottom. So maybe price would go a little bit higher from here and then make another retest here and then go higher again. So if we have a break then of this level, then I would consider going long here. So that's, in my book, that's with the trend, because the trend has been going up. So we have a low here and then a higher low and then even a higher low, and now we're seeing to make another higher low here. So this is a higher high, excuse me. And then this is a higher low. This is a higher low, and this is the initial low. And then this is a higher high. Oh, this is a high, yes, this is a higher high, and then a higher high. So we have equal highs here. So we do have quite some resistance here. Let me just have a sip of water. So this is what I will be looking at. So I'll be looking at some sort of indication down here that we could go higher, but it doesn't have to happen. We could also just crash right through, and again right through this level. So if we see more downward action, something like this, and then it goes like this, and then maybe it breaks here, then we're actually could be in a downward trend for the shorter term probably, and then we could take maybe a retest of this level to the downside, and then I would target maybe these lows here, or maybe even only this low. So that's what I'll be looking at for the US dollar Swiss franc. So moving on to the next pair on my list. So that's the New Zealand dollar US dollar. Again, I had a picture perfect trade on this pair that's going down. So we have this downtrend going on here, and then we had this support that was broken, retested here immediately, and then retested again. And then when I saw this retest, this is how I placed the trade to the downside. Dollar was very strong, so it was a no-brainer. So that was a trade for 1.7 R. Then when we hit this lower level and we have this bullish engulfing pattern here, I thought, okay, this could be going higher, but I'm not going to trade it, but I am going to place a marker to see if I would get this right. So how I entered this is on the 50% retracement of this engulfing pattern, and what do you know, we got entered here if I would have taken this trade, and then it went up and down again, and so you can see that the pressure is more to the downside. So these counter trend trades are pretty tricky. You have to maybe lower your risk to reward, but then you need a very high win rate. So yeah, usually I used to trade this to the next level, but then most of my trades will only get to half of the level and then get stopped out, and or I would abandon the trade maybe at break even, something like that. So for me at the current time, with trend trading is more profitable, so I'll be sticking to that. Anyway, I'm keeping track of this, so this is one way of trading this. Moving on to the Aussie dollar. Oh, do I have to spell it out how I'm going to be trading this? Well, let's do it. Let's see, if price breaks lower below this level here, I'll be looking for a retest to trade it as a continuation. If it comes up to here, I will also consider taking a short trade, unless it really goes above this level. Then we have to reconsider what's been going on. Then we might see the trend change as we have this double bottom here. So let me draw this out. If price just goes to here, then I can take it to the downside. If price from here moves lower, I can take a retest to the downside. But if price just goes up, maybe hovers around here a little bit and then pops up, does a retest, then I'm not going to take this retest, but I'm not going to take any trades at all. I'm just going to wait for price to see what's doing. If it's going up, and only if it breaks this level here, then I consider the trend to have changed and I will be looking for long trades. So that's basically how I am trading this market. Kind of the same goes for AUD/USD. Also had a trade to the downside on AUD/USD, which was quite picture perfect as well. And also I placed this paper trade to the upside, trading counter trend. But as you can see, it's not working out quite that good. So that's also why I'm not trading counter trend at the moment. Okay, so these were the currencies that I am trading. Let's move on quickly. Let's have a look at gold. I'm currently in this position here. It's at break even. I'm not quite sure what I'll be doing with this trade. I think it's gonna go sideways for some time. So I might have a look at how the market opens on Sunday evening, Monday morning, and see if there's a place I can get out with maybe a small win or maybe a small loss, and then move on and use my capital for in other markets that I can more easily trade. Silver is also in this kind of sideways pattern that it could be going, I think. So I also have to reconsider how I'm trading this. It looked as if it was going down very strongly, but markets just do what they do, and for now it's too choppy, becoming too choppy for me to trade. So I might get out of this trade as well. I had a losing trade here on Platinum. I closed it out early for a small R loss, so not a 1 R loss, but a minus 0.4 loss. So I got out at this level here. I was looking at this longer term bull flag that was forming, and then we hit this support level once, twice, 3 times, and I also saw this kind of upside down head and shoulder. So I thought, okay, so we have a break here, and then we could retest the neckline of the head and upside down head and of the reverse head and shoulder. But instead of waiting for retest here, I just placed my entry right there, or I just jumped in at the market, and that's a lesson for me not to do that anymore. I really have to wait for some sort of indication that price is reversing, because we just went straight through this level, and then we had some indecision that could have indicated that we were reversing to the upside, but indecision means indecision. That means the market doesn't know which way it's gonna go, and then the next day we just went down and down and down. So I decided to bail out here at minus 0.4 R. This trade could still work out because I had a large stop, so it could still go higher from here, but I'm already out of the trade and I'm not gonna go in again. It's also it was one of those trades that I didn't really stick to my trading setups and my trading plan, so that's a good lesson again. If I trade this kind of trades that are outside of my predefined and setups and that I've backtested, then I'm not too sure once I'm in, and then I'll bail out with a small loss. And this trade might even work out, so this could be a winner, but I just got out with a loss because I'm not confident, because I have not backtested this particular pattern. Okay, moving on. Palladium. This is interesting. Palladium is in this strong downtrend, and we had this engulfing pattern to the downside here at this resistance zone that was first support. So it was support once, 2 times, then it broke, then it became resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, and then we had this engulfing pattern. So this is one of the patterns that I trade. So I placed an entry at the break of this candle, a little bit lower, and then we got in, and we're still in this trade. And now again there is the same kind of pattern forming. So we had this bearish engulfing candle here at this resistance level. So this could be another trade that I will be adding on. It's only that it's for a smaller risk to reward, so it's only 1.14, and the other one was a 1.5 almost. But I do think I'm gonna be adding on to this trade. Maybe I will be using a different entry strategy. So I'll be entering at the 50% retrace. So if the price wicks up and then drops, that's usually what, or that's not usually what happens, but that's what my backtesting shows. That happens quite often. And maybe I'll place my stop right here at the entry and then move the stop to break even from the other trade. So I just have a 1R for these 2 trades on, and I can make on this trade a 1.83 and on the other one still a 1.46. So that's risking 1 for making more than 3. So that's that looks like a good pyramiding way of adding to this trade. Let me see, what else shall we talk about? I think I'm gonna leave it at this. I have many more markets that I trade. One thing everyone wants to look at probably is Bitcoin. So let me just quickly share my view on Bitcoin. My last video I talked about is Bitcoin crashing. Now we can fairly say that Bitcoin is crashing. If you follow me, you know I like to look at the longer term for cryptos and metals, at least for hodling, not for trading. So let me just put on the 200 moving average, the simple moving average. So if we take a look at this, this is the Bitcoin price, and you can see that every time we seem to be bouncing off this 200 moving average that is going up. And here in 2020 we had the crash, of course, and we went through the 200 week moving average. And here in 2018 we just tapped it and then went higher. So the green lines here are the levels I'm looking at for support. So we've just crossed the 19,500 level, and so the next level I'll be looking for support is the $12,000 level. So that's a major area of support. But yeah, we have to see what's going on. I will just be dollar cost averaging in all the way lower, so I'm getting more Bitcoin for my euros that I put in. So every week I buy a fixed amount of euros in Bitcoin. I've been doing that since, I don't know, when was it? Somewhere around here. So I'm still up quite a bit, and I'm not worried. I just I don't put all my money in it, of course. It's just I want to have some value out of the financial system. So that's how I see it. So I see it as a insurance against all the funny business that's going on in the world. That's the same how I use gold and silver as well. So that's just my personal opinion. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give the thumbs up and leave a comment if you have any questions, and check out my Patreon. You can just follow me on Patreon and you will see my trades. And if you want to be able to see my trades the minute I place them, then you can consider becoming a patron. and support my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.